Hey everybody, I wanted to have a quick video about the assignment 1.05, the string input assignment, the part one. So one of the things I have noticed for the pieces I have graded for that work is that there are several pieces missing, and it's really affecting some grades on those assignments. Not that I will not let people go back and fix those, but I definitely wanted to go back and at least maybe show an example of how I would have done that differently or how I would suggest to do that differently because there are pieces missing that are definitely affecting your grades. And I'm not sure if it's because you are misunderstanding what is being asked of you in regards to that part one assignment, or if you don't know how to show that in pseudocode. And so I'm going to show you an example here. Now, here's what I don't want. I don't want to see my own work on your work, okay? That is cheating and that's plagiarism. So don't do that. I will give you a 0. But I'm going to give you an example here, and I just want to give you this so that you can kind of see what you can do to help you out. All right, so if I'm looking at um, part one, and it says, write a program to simulate the chat box conversation. Use the following guidelines to write your program. So the one thing it says decide on an interactive program conversation someone could have with a computer. So, my idea would be, what is your favorite sandwich? Is your favorite sandwich? Okay, so that's my idea. That's the conversation that I'd want to have with somebody. Okay, so I'd want the computer to have with somebody. So I want to have at least 3 interactive prompts. All right, so my input that I want to have for sure is I definitely want that I want to ask user what their favorite sandwich is. Okay, and then I want to ask the user their 3 favorite toppings, condiments, or things like that that are like, pickles or mayonnaise or ketchup or what mustard, whatever they like to use on their um, our sandwich. And then I'm going to ask the user what bread they like. Okay, so that's going to be my three interactive questions that I would ask a user to input, what I would ask for their information. Okay, and then I would assign these things variables because that's what the next thing it says. Input from the user should be assigned variables. Okay, so that is the one thing that I am not seeing from you all. I am not seeing that you are assigning these things variables. Okay, so that's an issue. You are not assigning these variables in pseudocode. They have to be assigned variables in pseudocode. Now, again, your pseudocode is your pseudocode. You can do this any way that you want to do this. However, um, this is how I would do this. Okay, um, I would say, okay, so the user with their favorite sandwiches. So again, I would say that this is sandwich. That's the variable for this one. For my toppings, I would do topping, actually not uppercase, not an uppercase. We don't do uppercase variables. Topping 1, topping 2, topping 3. Okay, and then for my bread, I would say bread. Bread would be my variable for my bread. And that's how I would do that. That would be my pseudocode for those things. Okay? Again, you're typing this out. You're doing this your own way when you're typing this out. Okay? You don't have to do this like I am doing this. I am just showing you a way to do this. But you can also list out your variables if you want. You can include variables down here if you want. Okay? And you can put question 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then list your variables out. All right? Okay, so for my output, I want to make sure that I say that I want to include what the user's favorite sandwich is. So, user's favorite sandwich. Okay. Now, here's the thing another thing that you all are forgetting as well is the concatenation piece. This particular number 5 on here asks you to use concatenation. And I'm not seeing that in your pseudocode either. So what you can do here, and this is just the way that I set this up on mine because I specifically did this because I knew I was going to concatenate something. I had to concatenate something. So I would say users favorite toppings, and then I'm running out of space here. Can concatenate concatenate variables, toppings, one, or topping 1, topping 2, topping 3. So I would do something like that. So that way I know that the user's favorite toppings, I have to concatenate these variables and put them together in this to create this particular sentence. So I have to put those together. Okay? So there I'm showing that I have completed the concatenation portion, that I know that I have to include that. All right? So, all right. So now, just to go back and review, I have included what my conversation is going to be about. All right. I have three input statements. I have 3 interactive statements. I have variables attached to each of my input statements. All right. I have my outputs and what they're, and I don't have my last output. I'm sorry. I did not put the last output. And so ask the user. So user's favorite bread. Okay. And then I have my outputs, and I also have my concatenation piece that I'm supposed to include. All right. I'm still missing a piece though. All right. So I'm still missing the last piece that I'm supposed to have on here where it says use at least one time, use the indexing or slicing technique. Okay. Now I know that's tough. And that's hard to do when you don't know what someone's going to say. But here's the good thing. In this particular sense, we control the output. We already know what someone's going to say. So we can set this up however we want to. Okay? So I'm going to create one more output, and then it's going to say, it would say something like, when you get your favorite And then I would have my variable sandwich right here. I'm going to concatenate again so I can show it again that I know what I'm doing. Okay, when you get your favorite sandwich, as you're going to put in here, okay, okay, I'm going to concatenate again because I'm going to just add my plus signs, because you can add plus signs as part of your pseudocode. That's okay. You can do that. Pseudocode, even though it's not real pseudocode, is you can still use plus signs. There are no rules with pseudocode. Okay? Pseudocode is however you want to write it, but it's still written in regular English. Okay? All right. So when you get your favorite sandwich, and then here's what we're going to concatenate again. We're going to add, here's where we're going to add our indexing or slicing piece, or at least I am. Okay, you don't have to do this, but this is how I'm doing it. All right, I'm going to put in here the variable bread because my variable bread is here. All right. And then I would have my 2, 5. That's going to take out the last 3 letters of the word, because I'm going to say it's going to be wheat bread. And so when you get your favorite sandwich, or whatever sandwich that is, you eat, because the last 3 letters of the word wheat is eat. So I would put those in there. Okay. That way I have my last piece of information that I need to include in my part 1. Okay. You can code all of this into your final piece of code. Okay. This can all be coded into your final piece of code, but you still have to include this information in your pseudocode, because this is what I'm not seeing. I am seeing people put their 3 pieces of input, and I am seeing the 3 outputs. I am not seeing variables. I am not seeing concatenations, and I am not seeing the slicing and indexing. Therefore, you're getting like half credit for that. Okay. I'm not even seeing the concatenation or the slicing and indexing in your code. Okay. So I'm only giving you half credit for that. You have to incorporate all this information into your code. Okay. So just make sure that that's what you've got going on. All right. Now, I know this looks like a lot of information. And again, like I said, this is pseudocode. This is not real code. Okay. This is how people would outline what they wanted to make, what they wanted their code to do, how they wanted things to look, what they wanted their variables to be. Okay. Like I said, this one's attached to this one. These 3 are attached to this one. This bread here is attached to this one. Okay. And then like I said, these here are attached to these up here. Okay. We've got number 1, 2, and 3rd outputs. Okay. And this one right here is for our slicing. So I hope this helps a little bit with your 1.05. If you feel like you want to go back and redo it, please let me know. I will send it back to you if it's not going to let you back in to redo it or anything. If you turn it in on Classroom, you should be able to unsubmit it and redo it. Um, Otherwise, that's all I have. But like I said, I know it looks like a lot on the page, but pseudocode does not have to be pretty. Okay. But I do have to know what's what. Okay. I have to be able to tell what's what. I have to be able to tell that these go with, like, sandwich goes with this one, toppings go with this one, bread goes with this one. Not Please don't, again, do not use my example. If you use my example, then you have copied and plagiarized, and I will give you a 0. I am giving you this as an example so that you have an idea of what the expectation is in regards to part 1 of 1.05. Okay. Um, but make sure that you're including all of the elements that are being asked of you. Okay. You are a lot of everyone that I have graded so far is missing about half of the information, and it's really affecting the grades. And I just want to make sure that you are including everything. So, but you all have a fantastic afternoon, and I will see you all later. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.